As we face the potential for severe winter blackouts, with temperatures plunging and ice storms devastating large regions, it's critical to be prepared. Experts are raising alarms, with natural gas demand expected to soar, and pipelines facing the very real threat of freeze-offs. Last winter, these freeze-offs slashed gas supplies by billions of cubic feet per day, enough to power millions of homes. And as power bills rise, it's becoming clear that we cannot rely on the grid during extreme weather events. Winter blackouts are more than just an inconvenience. They're a serious threat to our safety and well-being. Whether you're facing crippling ice storms or long-lasting power outages, the key to surviving these conditions is preparation. In this video, we're going to talk about 24 essential items you should stockpile now to ensure your family is protected during the coldest, darkest times of the year. Let's start with one of the most important preps: portable solar generators and battery banks. A reliable power backup is absolutely crucial when the grid goes down, and traditional gas-powered generators may not be an option. Not only do solar generators operate silently, but they also recharge using sunlight, making them ideal when roads are blocked or gas stations are inaccessible. Plus, they don't emit harmful fumes like gas-powered alternatives. With a minimum capacity of 100 watt-hours, WH, these solar-powered systems can keep vital devices running, such as medical equipment, communication tools, or even a small refrigerator. Some models, capable of producing 2,000 watts of peak power, can keep your fridge going for up to 20 hours on a single charge. Pair this with a foldable solar panel for easy recharging during daylight hours, and you'll have an efficient system ready for an extended blackout. Moving on to shelf-stable comfort foods. When the temperatures drop and the power goes out, it's not just about staying nourished, it's about keeping morale up too. Stock up on hearty, easy-to-prepare foods like soups, instant mashed potatoes, canned chili, and pasta with jarred sauces. Look for foods that have a shelf life of 5 to 10 years, like freeze-dried meals from brands such as Mountain House and ReadyWise. These meals only require boiling water, which makes them perfect for a blackout. Don't forget the snacks that provide a little psychological comfort during tough times, like chocolate, instant coffee, or tea. Nutritionists suggest prioritizing calorie-dense foods, especially those high in fats and carbohydrates, to help maintain your body heat during the cold months. After all, in extreme cold, an average adult needs 2,000 to 3,000 calories a day to stay energized and warm. Lastly, let's talk about winter-specific medical supplies. Cold weather can bring added risks, so it's important to have a well-stocked first aid kit ready. In addition to standard items like bandages and antiseptic, include thermal blankets, hand warmers, and warming pads, which can help prevent hypothermia during freezing conditions. If anyone in your household requires prescription medications, make sure to have a 30-day reserve, as winter storms can disrupt supply chains. Over-the-counter essentials like ibuprofen, antihistamines, and electrolyte replacement solutions are also vital. For peace of mind, consider adding a pulse oximeter and a portable blood pressure monitor, which can help you monitor health during stressful cold conditions. And if you rely on medical devices like CPAP machines, ensure they are compatible with your backup power systems. With these three essentials, solar generators, comfort foods, and medical supplies, you'll be better prepared for the winter months ahead. But there's more to stockpile, so keep watching as we dive into the next set of preparations. Winter blackouts are no joke. Without water, survival becomes impossible. When temperatures drop and power is lost, you'll quickly realize how critical it is to have enough water on hand. If your pipes freeze or burst, you're left without a water supply in an instant. Sure, you could try melting snow, but that's not a viable solution in a survival situation. To get just 1 gallon of water from snow, you need about 8 gallons of snow. Plus, melting it is energy intensive and a waste of resources. Here's what you need to do. Stockpile at least 2 gallons of water per person per day. Multiply that by 2 weeks, and you're looking at 28 gallons per person. Add more for children, elderly family members, and pets. Forget about those flimsy cases of bottled water at the grocery store. You need food-grade 55-gallon drums or stackable water bricks for proper storage. Treat the water with a preservative like water preserver concentrate to keep it fresh for up to 5 years. And as a backup, invest in a gravity-fed water filtration system, such as a Berkey, for purifying water if your stored supply runs low. Next up, let's talk about emergency heat sources. Hypothermia doesn't care about your cozy sweaters. When the thermostat drops below freezing and the power goes out, your home becomes a potential death trap. To survive, a propane or kerosene heater is essential. Look for models like the Mr. Heater Buddy, which are designed for indoor use and can literally save your life. But don't stop there. Ensure you stockpile enough fuel for weeks, not just days. One single propane cylinder might last only a few hours, so you'll need dozens to make it through a long-term blackout. Don't forget about carbon monoxide safety. Install battery-powered carbon monoxide detectors and keep fire extinguishers within easy reach. Test your heat sources now, not when you're freezing. If you're worried about the cold, consider setting up a tent inside your home. Your body heat can help keep a small space warm enough to prevent freezing. Is it comfortable? Will it keep you alive? Absolutely. Winter blackouts aren't just inconvenient, they're dangerous. Prepare now so you're not left scrambling for survival when the storm hits. Start acting like your life depends on it, because it truly does. Now, on to food. You're either ready or you're not. If you think you can rely on grocery stores during a winter blackout, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Supply chains fail, and when delivery trucks get stuck in snowbanks, no one is coming to save you. Stockpile high-calorie, shelf-stable food now before it's too late. Focus on essentials: rice, beans, pasta, canned meats, peanut butter, powdered milk, and oatmeal. These foods are not just about convenience, they're about survival. A 50-pound bag of rice contains 25,000 calories, enough to keep you going for weeks. A single can of Spam has about 1,000 calories. Pure survival fuel. Don't waste time on trendy foods like kale chips. Stack your pantry with bulk items that last for years. Get enough food to last at least 3 months per person, or even longer if possible. And don't forget basics like salt, sugar, and cooking oil. These are essential for survival and impossible to replace in a blackout scenario. Without salt, your body can't retain water. Without sugar and oil, your energy will burn out fast. Finally, let's talk about fuel supplies. If you think fuel prices are high now, wait until a winter storm knocks out power and gas stations close. Fuel is no longer just a commodity, it's survival currency. A 30-gallon gas stockpile is a good start, but don't stop there. You'll need propane for heaters, kerosene for lamps, and firewood if you have a wood stove. A single 20-pound propane tank lasts about 8 hours on a heater. That's one night. If you're expecting 2 weeks without power, you'll need at least 56 gallons of fuel. Don't forget to store fuel properly, away from moisture and heat. And if you have a wood stove, make sure to stock up on seasoned hardwood like oak, hickory, and maple. 1 quart should be enough for the winter. Also keep butane canisters for portable stoves and small heaters. They're easy to store but burn quickly, so you'll need plenty. Bottom line, your fuel stockpile isn't just for comfort, it's for survival. Don't be the person freezing to death because you thought 3 propane tanks and a couple of logs would cut it. Winter doesn't care about excuses. It's time to get serious about your prep. Clothing and cold weather gear. When winter hits, your clothing is your first line of defense against the cold. If you're underprepared with the right gear, your chances of survival plummet fast. Forget about your regular clothes. You need specialized cold weather gear designed to protect you from extreme temperatures. Start with a solid base layer made of moisture-wicking materials like merino wool or synthetic fabrics that trap heat while keeping sweat away from your skin. Then add insulated mid-layers such as fleece or down jackets to keep your body heat contained. Don't skimp on waterproof outer layers either. Snow, sleet, and freezing rain can turn your outfit into a soggy mess in minutes, making you vulnerable to hypothermia. When it comes to socks and gloves, make sure to have multiple pairs of thick wool socks and insulated gloves. Hand warmers are a game changer, so stock up on those. A warm, insulated hat and a good quality scarf are crucial for keeping the heat in. As for footwear, you need waterproof boots with good insulation. Your feet can freeze faster than you think, and you don't want to risk frostbite. If your boots have steel toes or hard rubber soles, even better, as they will protect your feet from hazards in the snow. Lastly, don't forget about layering. You should be able to add or remove layers depending on the temperature to avoid sweating too much, which can lead to getting chilled. Your clothing is not just about comfort, it's about survival. You wouldn't want to gamble with hypothermia just because you didn't invest in the right gear. So, make sure you're ready to face whatever winter throws at you, or you'll pay the price. Emergency medical gear. When the lights go out, you can't afford to wait for help, especially during a winter blackout. Roads will be frozen, emergency services overwhelmed, and hospitals operating at capacity. If you're not ready, you're gambling with your life. Basic supplies like Band-Aids and expired aspirin aren't nearly enough for the kind of injuries you might face in a crisis. What you need is a comprehensive first aid kit that can handle everything from small cuts to life-threatening injuries. Start with trauma supplies that include tourniquets, quick clot gauze, pressure bandages, and a chest seal for sucking chest wounds. Yes, you read that correctly. Chest wounds are a real threat during winter accidents like slipping with an axe or being struck by falling debris. Don't let the idea of trauma overwhelm you. The reality is far worse without the proper supplies. Next, you need to stock up on basic medications. Antiseptics, burn ointments, and painkillers should all be in your kit. And don't limit yourself to just over-the-counter remedies. If possible, obtain a prescription for antibiotics. In cold environments, infections can spread quickly and can become deadly if left untreated. Stocking up on these supplies may not be glamorous, but it will save your life when the time comes. Add essential tools like splints, tweezers, and medical tape for dealing with broken bones and deep splinters. These injuries can be just as dangerous as major trauma if not properly treated. Be sure to learn how to use all the supplies you collect. A well-stocked kit is useless if you don't know how to apply the necessary treatment. Take a basic first aid or wilderness survival course so you're equipped to save lives in an emergency. During a blackout, your ability to care for others could mean the difference between life and death. Don't wait until it's too late to prepare. Alternative cooking methods. If you think you can survive on cold beans and dry crackers for weeks, I think again. In a winter blackout, hot cooked food is essential to stay warm and keep your body functioning. Without a power source, you'll need alternative cooking methods or you'll be stuck eating miserable cold meals. Start with a portable butane or propane stove. These are compact, efficient, and life-saving when your electric stove is useless. A single canister can last for hours, so stockpile at least 30 canisters or more if you plan to cook daily. A rocket stove is another great option. It runs on twigs and small branches, which means you can cook using natural resources. If you have a fireplace, invest in a cast iron Dutch oven. It's practically indestructible and perfect for cooking over an open flame. But here's the critical part most people overlook: ventilation. Any cooking method involving combustion produces carbon monoxide, a silent killer. Without proper airflow, you're essentially turning your home into a gas chamber. Always install a battery-powered carbon monoxide detector near your cooking area. Better yet, set up your cooking station outdoors if possible. Make sure your cookware can withstand the heat. Skip the non-stick nonsense and opt for heavy-duty stainless steel or cast iron pots and pans. Don't forget manual tools like a can opener, knife sharpener, and even a potato peeler. These tools might seem basic, but in an emergency, they can make all the difference. Cook like your life depends on it, because it does. Fire starters. If you don't have a reliable way to start a fire, you're already losing the survival game. Fire isn't just for warmth, it's necessary for boiling water, cooking food, and keeping predators, human or otherwise, at bay. A single Bic lighter is not enough. If that's your only fire-starting tool, you're setting yourself up for failure. Start by stockpiling stormproof matches. Not the cheap ones that fizzle out at the first sign of moisture, but real waterproof, windproof matches that can survive the apocalypse. Add ferrocerium rods to your arsenal. They can throw sparks hot enough to light wet tinder and last for thousands of strikes. Speaking of tinder, prepackaged options like cotton balls soaked in petroleum jelly or commercial fire starters like wet fire cubes are perfect for lighting a fire when everything outside is soaked. But don't stop there. A blowtorch-style lighter can ignite damp wood faster than traditional methods, so keep one in your kit as well. For long-term survival, redundancy is key. Stock at least 3 fire-starting methods: matches, lighters, and ferro rods. Keep them in waterproof containers to ensure they're dry and ready when you need them. And don't forget, the ability to build and maintain a fire is just as important as having the tools to start one. Practice now, before your fingers are frozen, and every mistake costs you precious warmth. Fire is life. Get it together or freeze trying. Communication devices. If you think you can wait for the power to come back on and sit in silence, you're living in a fantasy. Winter blackouts often lead to complete isolation, and isolation gets people killed. You need to stay informed and connected because knowing what's coming could mean the difference between survival and disaster. First, invest in a quality crank-powered or solar emergency radio. Not the cheap ones that barely pick up static, but rugged radios that pull in NOAA weather alerts and emergency broadcasts. Bonus points if your radio has a built-in flashlight and USB charging port. Next, get a set of long-range two-way radios. If cell towers go down or your phone dies, these radios become your lifeline to neighbors, family, or anyone else within range. But don't just buy them and throw them in a drawer. Test them now, find out how far they reach, and learn how to use them. For serious preppers, a ham radio is non-negotiable. While they do require a license, in an emergency, no one's checking paperwork. These radios can reach hundreds of miles, and if you know the right frequencies, you can tap into survival networks or call for help. Remember, backup power is essential. Radios and phones are useless if you can't charge them. Stock up on solar chargers and battery banks to ensure you stay connected. Communication isn't a luxury, it's survival. Sitting in the dark, clueless about what's happening outside, will get you killed. Get the tools, learn how to use them, and stop relying on hope. It's not a plan, it's survival. Navigation tools. Sometimes staying put isn't an option. If your home becomes uninhabitable, no heat, no water, or structural damage, you'll need to move. But when the grid's down, so are the satellites, and you won't have access to GPS. You need a backup plan. Start with physical maps of your area. Yes, paper maps. Get detailed topographic maps that show roads, trails, rivers, and elevation. Pair them with a high-quality compass. Don't buy the cheap ones you find in survival kits. Get a military-grade model with a sighting mirror for precision navigation. And here's the kicker, learn how to use them. If you can't orient yourself without GPS, you're as good as lost. Next, consider backup lighting and signaling tools for navigation in low visibility. Stock high-lumen headlamps, glow sticks, and signal whistles to alert others if you're in trouble. If you're trekking through snow or icy terrain, ice cleats, trekking poles, and snowshoes could save your life by preventing falls or keeping you mobile when roads are impassable. Navigation isn't just about getting somewhere, it's about staying alive long enough to get there. If you're wandering aimlessly in a whiteout or stuck because you don't know where to go, you're finished. Prepare to move or prepare to fail. Winter Blackout Survival Plan. Key elements for staying alive. 1. Alternative cooking methods. If you think you can survive on cold beans and dry crackers during a winter blackout, think again. Hot meals are crucial to keep your body functioning and to stay warm. If you're not prepared to cook without power, you're setting yourself up for misery. Options like a compact butane or propane stove, a rocket stove running on twigs, and a cast iron Dutch oven for open flames are lifesavers. Stock enough fuel and ensure proper ventilation to avoid deadly carbon monoxide buildup. Invest in durable cookware, stainless steel or cast iron, and keep manual tools like a can opener, sharpener, and peeler handy. Your ability to cook will determine your survival. 2. Fire starters. Fire is essential for warmth, cooking, and protection. Without a reliable fire starting kit, you're already losing the game. Stock stormproof matches, waterproof and windproof lighters, ferrocerium rods, which last thousands of strikes, and pre-made tinder options. Learn how to start and maintain a fire, as it's not only about survival but keeping you warm. Having multiple fire starting methods and practicing fire making skills now will help ensure you're ready when things go south. 3. Communication devices. During a winter blackout, isolation can become deadly. Stay informed and connected by investing in an emergency crank-powered or solar-powered radio. Make sure it picks up emergency alerts and NOAA weather broadcasts. Two-way radios are a must if the cell towers go down, and a ham radio could help you reach out for help over long distances. Don't forget to have backup charging solutions like solar chargers and battery banks. In an emergency, communication isn't optional. It's crucial for survival. 4. Navigation tools. If you need to evacuate your home or travel through unsafe conditions, relying on GPS or cell towers won't help. Instead, you'll need a solid backup plan with detailed physical maps of your area, paired with a high-quality compass for navigation. Make sure to practice using them to avoid getting lost. Keep a headlamp, glow sticks, and a whistle for signaling. If you're in snow or icy terrain, pack ice cleats, trekking poles, and snowshoes. The ability to navigate through tough conditions could save your life. 5. Cash. Without power, your credit cards and debit cards become useless. Stock at least $500 in small denominations, such as 5s, 10s, and 20s. Keep your cash in secure, multiple locations. Consider barter goods like batteries, canned goods, or alcohol, as these could become valuable currency in a prolonged blackout. Prepare now and avoid being caught empty-handed when others are trading for essentials. 6. Transportation. Readiness. Winter storms and blackouts can leave you stranded. Always keep your vehicle's gas tank at least half full and have a minimum of 10 gallons of stored fuel. Add stabilizer to prolong the fuel's shelf life. Keep your car winter ready with oil, antifreeze, windshield fluid, and proper tire pressure. Prepare an emergency kit with items like jumper cables, a portable jump starter, a shovel, traction mats, and thermal blankets. If your vehicle breaks down, your survival chances depend on your preparedness. 7. Home fortification. Winter blackouts bring the risk of increased crime, as people may resort to desperation. Fortify your home with reinforced doors, deadbolts, security bars, and shatter-resistant window films. Install motion-activated floodlights and solar-powered cameras to deter intruders. Have a plan for barricading vulnerable entry points, and make sure everyone in your household knows where to retreat. Keep defensive tools accessible, such as pepper spray, tasers, or firearms if you're trained. Your home must be your fortress during a blackout. 8. Mental toughness. Survival isn't just about physical preparedness. Mental toughness is crucial. In a blackout, stress, panic, and hopelessness can destroy you faster than the cold. Prepare your mind by practicing doing without luxuries, turning off your phone, or going without heat for a day. Create a solid plan that details what to do in emergencies, evacuation routes, communication methods, and who does what. Surround yourself with a strong network of like-minded people who won't panic under pressure, stay calm, focused, and ready to face challenges head-on. 9. Redundancy. Having multiple backup systems is not paranoia, it's essential. Have 2 sources of heat, 2 cooking methods, and 2 ways to purify water. If you have a generator, get a solar-powered one too. Keep both propane and firewood stocked. Redundancy also applies to your plans. Always have multiple evacuation routes, backup locations, and copies of critical documents. If your primary system fails, your backup must be ready to take over without delay. 10th attitude. Survival is not about waiting for help. It's about fighting for your own life. A winter blackout is a test of both body and mind. If you treat it as an inconvenience, you'll crumble when things get tough. Get aggressive about your preparation, commit to it, and don't make excuses. A strong attitude can be the difference between life and death when the storm hits. By focusing on these 10 key areas, you'll be better prepared to survive a winter blackout and any other disaster that may come your way. Prioritize your safety, security, and well-being, and get ready to face the challenges ahead.